Right, so for solving the equations, what we're going to do is use the opposite operation in order to isolate the variable, get the variable all by itself. We're going to use the steps BEDMAS backwards, which is SAMDEB. So first of all, we're going to subtract or add, and since we have plus 7, we're going to write down 8t plus 7 subtract 7 is equal to negative 10 subtract 7. So 8t is equal to negative 17. We'll divide both sides by 8. So 1t is equal to negative 17 over 8. What we'll do here, since we have subtract 2, we're going to use the opposite operation. So we'll add 2 to both sides, and we end up with 9p is equal to 8. Divide both sides by 9. And we get p is equal to 8/9. Here we have negative 5r plus 6. So to get rid of the plus 6, we're going to subtract 6 from both sides. So negative 5r plus 6 subtract 6 is equal to 8 subtract 6. Negative 5r is equal to 2. Divide both sides by negative 5. And we get r is equal to negative 2/5. Now, for D, we're going to need to get rid of the plus 3/4 from both sides of the equation. So we're going to subtract 3/4 from both sides. So 4x plus 3 over 4 subtract 3 over 4 is equal to 7 over 4 subtract 3 over 4. We end up with 4x is equal to 4 over 4, which is 1. Actually, I read it as 4 over 4. So 4x is equal to 1. Divide both sides by 4. We get x is equal to 1/4. For this one, we're going to add 1/4 to both sides. So this is going to be 3x minus 1/4 plus 1/4 is equal to, and I'm going to write 2 as 8 over 4 because 2 is 8 over 4 because we're going to add 1 over 4. So 3x is equal to 9 over 4. Now we're going to divide both sides by 3. So I'm going to write it as divide by 3, but I'm going to write it as divided by 3 over here. So we get x is equal to, now 9 over 4. Now when we do division, you multiply by the reciprocal. So that is going to be 9 over 4 times 9 over 4 times 1/3. And we can simplify here. 3 goes into itself, 3 goes into 9 3 times and into itself once. So we end up with 3 times 1. So x is equal to 3 times 1, which is 3 over 4. We're going to use a different method over the next couple days in order to solve ones with fraction, but right now this is a good review of operations with fractions. All right, so I'm going to rearrange this equation. So it's 7x minus 5 over 12 is equal to negative 1. So I can add 5/12 to both sides. So 7x plus 5 over, minus 5 over 12 plus 5 over 12. Is equal to negative 1, or if I write it as a with common denominator, it's going to be negative 12 over 12 plus 5 twelfths. So this simplifies then to be 7x, because minus 5 twelfths plus 5 twelfths is 0, so is equal to negative 12 plus 5 is negative 7, and you keep the denominator, which is 12. So now we're going to divide both sides by 7. So it's negative 7 over 12 divided by 7. So this is 7. So it simplifies to be x is equal to negative 7 over 12 times 1 over 7. Now the 7's cancel out, so this becomes negative 1 because the negative sign's still there. So x is equal to negative 1/12. For g, we're going to add 2/5 to both sides, so 10t minus 2 over 5 plus 2 over 5 is equal to 3 over 5 plus 2/5. So 10t is equal to, so 3/5 plus 2/5 is 5/5, or 1. So 10t is equal to 1. Divide both sides by 10, and you get t is equal to 1 over 10. Now, here, 7x plus 5 over 4, subtract 5 over 4, is equal to negative 3, subtract 5 over 4. Well, this is negative 3 over 1. And so 7x is equal to, we need a common denominator, so the common denominator is going to be 4. So this will be negative 12 over 4, subtract 5 over 4. So 7x is equal to negative 17 over 4. We divide both sides by 7. And again, when you divide, that's the same as multiplying by the reciprocal. So we can write this as x is equal to negative 17 over 4 times 1 over 7. We can't simplify it all, so it's just going to be negative 17 times 1, so x is equal to negative 17 over 4 times 7 is 28. All right, in order to isolate the term with the x in it, we're going to have to add 1/2 to both sides. So 11x minus 1/2 plus 1/2 is equal to 3 over 2 plus 1/2. So 11x is equal to, this is going to be 4 over 2, which simplifies to be 2. Divide both sides by 11, and you get x is equal to 2 over 2 11ths. For j, 9t, subtract 3 over 5, and we're going to add 3 over 5 to get rid of the fraction here. So this is equal to negative 6 over 5 plus 3 over 5. So we've added 3/5 to both sides of the equation. So 9t is equal to -6 plus 3 is -3. Keep the denominator. And now we're going to divide both sides by 9. So 9t over 9 is equal to -3 over 5 divided by 9. And so this is t is equal to -3 over 5 times 1/9. Multiplying, because division, this is 9 over 1, so we divide by multiplying by the reciprocal. And 3 goes into 9 3 times, and into -3, -1 times. So now we multiply the numerators, -1 times 1. So t is equal to -1 over 5 times 3 is 15. So it's -1/15. Right. Next question. I'm gonna switch this around. So I'm gonna write 8s subtract 1/3 is equal to 1. I'm gonna add 1/3 to both sides. So 8s is equal, I'll skip that step. I'm just going to write it as plus 1/3. So we've added 1/3 to both sides. And so now we've got 8s is equal to 1 over 1, with the denominator 3 is 3 over 3 plus 1/3. So 8s is equal to 4 over 3. We're going to divide both sides by 8 in order to isolate the variable. So 8s over 8 is equal to 4 over 3 divided by 8. So s is equal to 4 over 3 times 1/8. So s is equal to, now 4 goes into itself once and into 8 2 times. So when we multiply this, we get 1 times 1 is 1 over 3 times 2, which is 6. For here, I'm going to subtract 7 over 6 from both sides. So 7 over 6 subtract 7 over 6 plus 8t is equal to 13 over 6 subtract 7 over 6. So 8t is equal to, now 13 subtract 6, sorry, 13 to subtract 7 is 6 over 6. So 8t is equal to 1. Divide both sides by 8, and you get t is equal to 1/8.